Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, a coin that most people overlooked for decades but has become a gem for collectors, the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1950. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a casual collector, or just someone curious about hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're about to discover why this tiny copper coin carries so much history, intrigue, and value. Imagine the world in 1950. America was moving forward from the aftermath of World War II. Soldiers had returned home, cities were growing, and industries were booming. Families were putting coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny into piggy banks, jars, and drawers, never imagining that some of these small coins would become coveted collectibles decades later. The 1950 penny is a direct link to that era, a physical piece of a time when America was experiencing remarkable change and optimism. The obverse of the coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, which had been introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of his birth. It was a revolutionary design at the time because it was the first regularly circulated U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than an allegorical figure. On this 1950 coin, "In God We Trust" sits prominently above Lincoln's head, liberty rests to his left, and the date appears on his right shoulder. Just beneath the date, you may notice a small mint mark, which indicates where the coin was struck. This little letter, often overlooked by casual holders, can dramatically influence a coin's rarity and value. Coins with no mint mark were produced in Philadelphia, D-marked pennies came from Denver, and S-marked coins were minted in San Francisco. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted with the classic wheat ears design that has become iconic among collectors. The two stalks of wheat arch gracefully along each side of the coin, symbolizing prosperity, abundance, and America's agricultural roots. Between the stalks, the words 1 cent and United States of America appear boldly, while E pluribus unum sits above, reminding everyone that out of many states, one nation was formed. This reverse design, produced from 1909 to 1958, has a timeless elegance that makes the Lincoln Wheat Penny instantly recognizable and highly collectible. What sets the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart from other years is not just the design but the combination of rarity, mint marks, and condition. Millions of these coins were produced, but few have survived in uncirculated or near pristine condition. Most were used daily in transactions, meaning scratches, dents, and discoloration are common. Coins that have been carefully preserved, showing full detail and original luster, are increasingly difficult to find. A 1950 penny that retains sharpness in Lincoln's hair, a crisp mint mark, and well-defined wheat ears is a prize for any serious collector. Even more intriguing are the coins that exhibit minting errors or unusual characteristics. In some cases, the minting process created slight misalignments, doubled features, or other imperfections. While these errors might seem like flaws, they are actually highly prized by collectors because they are unique. A 1950 penny with a rare die crack, off-center strike, or doubled lettering can become the centerpiece of a collection and drive extraordinary interest at auctions. The grading of a coin is another key factor that collectors consider. Coins are examined for wear, strike quality, surface preservation, and color. A red coin, one that still retains the original reddish copper tone, is far more desirable than one that has faded or turned brown over the decades. The higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay, and that's why some 1950 pennies can command astonishing prices when they are in top condition. Beyond monetary value, these coins are historical treasures. They tell a story of everyday Americans using money to live, save, and build their lives in the mid-20th century. Each coin has passed through countless hands, traveled through stores, buses, and homes, and yet some have survived almost untouched, ready to tell their story to the modern collector. Imagine discovering one of these coins tucked away in an old jar or box, completely unaware of the fortune it might hold. Today, serious collectors scan collections, coin rolls, and estate finds in hopes of discovering a 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional condition. They examine every detail, every curve, every line in the design, because they know that even minor differences can turn an ordinary coin into something remarkable. And for those who have been lucky enough to preserve a coin from this year with a rare mint mark or flawless surfaces, the reward can be staggering. After decades of circulation, careful preservation, and the allure of rarity, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny has become a symbol of both history and value. A single coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with a sought-after mint mark or unique feature, could be worth an astonishing $103,000. Today we're diving into a small but powerful piece of American history, a coin that's been tucked away in jars, drawers, and old collections for over 70 years but holds a story far bigger than its size: the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1951. This coin might look like everyday change to the untrained eye, but for collectors and coin aficionados, it represents history, rarity, and, potentially, an incredible financial surprise. To truly appreciate the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you need to step back into the world of post-World War II America. The year 1951 was a period of rebuilding, optimism, and change. Families were putting pennies into piggy banks, children were saving up coins to buy candies and toys, and shopkeepers were counting them in rolls at the end of long days. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was everywhere, circulating through homes, schools, stores, and public transportation. Most people saw it as ordinary currency, yet today, those same coins are treasured by collectors worldwide for their history, design, and condition. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, a familiar figure who had been gracing American pennies since 1909. This design was revolutionary for its time because it was the first regularly circulated U.S. coin to honor a real person rather than an allegorical figure. On the 1951 coin, "In God We Trust" arches above Lincoln's profile, liberty sits at his side, and the year 1951 rests beside him. But look closely just beneath the date, and you might notice a small mint mark. This seemingly tiny letter carries huge significance. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while D-marked pennies come from Denver, and S-marked pennies hail from San Francisco. That single letter can dramatically impact a coin's rarity and value today. The reverse of the coin is just as captivating. Here, the iconic wheat ears frame the coin's center, representing prosperity, abundance, and the agricultural heart of America. Between these sheaves, 1 cent and United States of America are engraved, with E pluribus unum at the top, reminding collectors and history enthusiasts alike that out of many states, one nation emerged. The wheat reverse design, used from 1909 until 1958, has become instantly recognizable and highly desirable for collectors who appreciate classic coin artistry. What really elevates the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny beyond its historical and artistic value is its rarity and high-grade condition. While millions were minted, most pennies have suffered the wear and tear of decades of circulation. Scratches, dents, discoloration, and worn details are common, which is why coins that remain uncirculated or nearly pristine are so coveted. A coin that still displays crisp details in Lincoln's hair, sharp lettering, and well-defined wheat ears is a gem, and collectors are willing to pay handsomely for these examples. Adding another layer of intrigue are the minting errors and unique variations that sometimes appear. Slightly off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or other die anomalies were occasional byproducts of the minting process. Though these may seem like flaws to the casual observer, to collectors, they are treasures. Coins with unusual errors are one of a kind and can command much higher prices than ordinary coins. Grading also plays a critical role in the value of a 1951 penny. Experts evaluate each coin based on surface preservation, strike quality, and color. Coins that retain the original red copper tone, known as red designation, are particularly rare because most pennies darken over time. The sharper the details, the richer the color, and the fewer the marks, the more collectors are willing to pay, sometimes astonishingly high amounts for a single coin. These coins are not just valuable, they're a direct link to the past. Each 1951 penny carries stories of everyday life in mid-20th century America, from the hands of children saving for small pleasures to adults managing their household expenses. Discovering a coin that has survived decades of circulation almost untouched is like finding a tiny time capsule. Some of these coins have been sitting quietly in old collections or forgotten jars, waiting for the right moment to reveal their worth. for modern collectors and investors, examining every detail is key. The mint mark under the date, the sharpness of Lincoln's facial features, the clarity of the wheat ears, and the overall preservation are all critical. Even a minor imperfection can affect value, while a perfectly preserved coin can be the crown jewel of a collection. Coins with exceptional quality, rare mint marks, or unique characteristics consistently attract serious bidders at auctions and private sales, and now, the moment every collector and enthusiast waits for, the value reveal. A 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny in exceptional condition, especially with a desirable mint mark or unique feature, could be worth an incredible $97,000. Today we're taking a closer look at a small yet incredibly fascinating piece of American history, the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1952. On the surface, it might seem like an ordinary penny, something you could find mixed in with spare change, but for collectors and numismatists, this coin represents a unique combination of history, artistry, and potential value that can surprise even seasoned enthusiasts. Whether you're a serious collector, someone curious about rare coins, or just fascinated by stories of hidden treasure, this journey into the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is bound to captivate you. To truly understand the significance of this coin, let's travel back to the early 1950s. America was in a period of economic growth and optimism. Families were rebuilding after the hardships of World War II, industries were expanding, and communities across the country were thriving. Coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny were part of everyday life, used to buy everything from groceries to school supplies, and passed from hand to hand countless times. While most people treated these pennies as ordinary currency, a small number of them have survived in remarkable condition, becoming highly sought-after treasures today. The obverse of the 1952 penny features Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait had been a fixture on the cent since 1909. The design was revolutionary at the time because it honored a real person rather than a symbolic figure, making it stand out among coins of its era. Above Lincoln's profile, "In God We Trust" is engraved prominently, while Liberty sits to his left and the year 1952 appears beside him. Beneath the date, you may notice a small mint mark, a tiny letter that indicates where the coin was struck. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while D-marked pennies were produced in Denver, and S-marked pennies hail from San Francisco. That single letter, though small, has a major impact on a coin's rarity and value. Collectors carefully examine these mint marks because they often determine whether a coin is common or extremely rare. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame the coin center, representing abundance, prosperity, and the agricultural foundation of the United States. Between the stalks, 1 cent and United States of America are boldly displayed, while E pluribus unum sits above, reminding everyone that out of many states, one nation was formed. The wheat reverse design, used from 1909 until 1958, has become legendary among collectors for its timeless elegance and historical significance. What really sets the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart is not just its design, but its rarity in excellent condition. Millions of these pennies were produced, yet few have survived in pristine, uncirculated form. Most circulated for years, accumulating scratches, dents, and discoloration, so coins that retain sharp details, vibrant coloring, and minimal wear are highly prized. A penny that preserves Lincoln's facial features, the intricate lines in his hair, and the detailed wheat stalks on the reverse can immediately catch the eye of collectors, adding even more excitement. Some coins from 1952 exhibit minting errors or unusual variations. These might include slight misalignments, doubled features, or other anomalies caused during the minting process. While they might look like mistakes to the casual observer, to collectors, these quirks are highly desirable. Coins with unique errors or variations are one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out in any collection, often commanding higher prices at auctions and private sales. Grading also plays a crucial role in the value of this coin. Experts assess the penny based on strike quality, surface preservation, color, and overall appearance. Coins with a red designation, meaning they retain their original reddish copper tone, are particularly rare because most pennies naturally darken over time. Sharpness of detail, color, and minimal marks all combine to create a coin that is highly attractive to serious collectors. Beyond its monetary value, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a tangible piece of American history. It tells a story of post-war America, of families saving coins, children playing with pennies, and everyday life in a rapidly changing nation. Each coin is a snapshot of the era, a physical link to the past that has survived decades of circulation and handling. Some coins have been tucked away in old jars, boxes, or drawers, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. For collectors today, every detail matters. They examine the coin closely, looking at Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the mint mark, the condition of the wheat ears, and the overall preservation. Even small differences can dramatically affect the coin's value, while an uncirculated, flawless example can become a centerpiece of a collection. Coins with exceptional condition, rare mint marks, or unique features consistently attract attention from serious collectors and can sell for remarkable sums. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, preserved in top condition with a desirable mint mark or exceptional grade, could be worth an astonishing $86,000. Today, we're turning our attention to a piece of American history that may seem small and ordinary at first glance, but for those who understand coins, it holds incredible historical significance and potential value. The United States of America 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1953. At first, it might look like just a simple copper coin, something you could find in your pocket or loose change, but this little penny carries decades of history, artistry, and stories, making it a gem for collectors and investors alike. To truly appreciate the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny, we need to travel back in time to post-World War II America. The nation was in a period of rebuilding and growth. Families were saving, communities were expanding, and industries were booming. Coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny were a part of everyday life, used to buy candy, stamps, groceries, and other small essentials. Millions of these pennies circulated daily, exchanged hand to hand, yet very few have survived in excellent condition over the decades. That rarity is precisely what makes certain coins from this era so highly sought after today. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, whose profile has been a symbol of American currency since 1909. This design was groundbreaking because it was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure, honoring one of the most influential presidents in American history. Above Lincoln's portrait, the inscription "In God We Trust" is prominently displayed, while liberty rests to his left and the year 1953 is engraved to his right. Beneath the date, you may notice a small mint mark. This mint mark, which can be a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or absent for Philadelphia, can dramatically impact the coin's rarity and value. Coins from Philadelphia with no mint mark were more common, but high-grade coins from Denver or San Francisco are far rarer and attract considerable interest from collectors. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame the coin center, representing prosperity, agriculture, and the backbone of American industry. Between the wheat stalks, 1 cent and United States of America are boldly inscribed, while E pluribus unum sits above, reminding us that out of many states, one nation was created. This wheat reverse design, which ran from 1909 until 1958, has become one of the most beloved and recognized designs in U.S. coinage. Collectors often describe it as timeless, not only for its historical value but also for its aesthetic appeal. What makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny particularly interesting is its rarity in high-grade condition. While millions of these pennies were minted, most were used extensively, leading to wear, scratches, and discoloration over time. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are highly prized. A penny that preserves sharp details in Lincoln's hair, crisp lettering, and well-defined wheat ears can command attention from collectors worldwide. The combination of mint mark, condition, and originality can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable collectible. Adding to the excitement, some 1953 pennies display minting errors or unusual variations. Slight misalignments, doubled lettering, or other anomalies occasionally occurred during production, and while these might look like imperfections to the casual observer, they are considered treasures by collectors. Coins with unique errors or subtle variations are often one of a kind and can significantly increase in value. This adds an element of thrill and unpredictability to collecting, as every coin could hold a hidden surprise. Grading is a critical aspect of determining a coin's worth. Professionals assess each penny for strike quality, surface preservation, and color. Coins that retain the original red copper tone, known as red designation, are especially desirable because most pennies naturally oxidize and darken over time. The finer the detail, the richer the color, and the fewer the imperfections, the higher the grade and the greater the value. Coins that meet these high standards are often considered investment-grade collectibles, sought after by collectors, investors, and auction houses alike. Beyond its monetary value, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a tangible piece of history. Each coin reflects the daily life of Americans in the early 1950s, from children saving pennies for small treats to adults using them for everyday transactions. These coins serve as physical reminders of a simpler time in American history, yet their rarity and condition today elevate them from ordinary currency to highly valued collectibles. Imagine discovering one of these pennies in an old jar, a box of coins, or tucked away in an estate collection, completely unaware of its true worth. Finding it would be like uncovering a tiny treasure. For collectors today, attention to detail is everything. Every aspect of the coin is examined carefully: the mint mark under the date, the sharpness of Lincoln's facial features, the clarity of the wheat ears, and the overall preservation. Even minor differences in strike, color, or condition can dramatically affect the coin's market value. Exceptional examples, particularly those with rare mint marks or flawless surfaces, consistently attract significant interest and can command remarkable sums at auction. And now, the moment every collector and enthusiast waits for: the value reveal. A 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny in top condition, with a desirable mint mark or exceptional preservation, could be worth an astonishing $80,000. Today, we're exploring a fascinating piece of American history, a small coin that has quietly survived decades yet holds a story far greater than its size might suggest: the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1954. On the surface, it may look like any ordinary penny, something easily overlooked in pocket change, but for collectors and numismatists, this coin represents history, artistry, and the potential for remarkable value. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual hobbyist, or someone just fascinated by hidden treasures, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny has a story you won't want to miss. To fully appreciate this coin, let's travel back in time to post-World War II America. By 1954, the country was in the midst of rapid growth and prosperity. Families were saving, children were collecting coins in piggy banks, and communities across the nation were thriving. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was a part of everyday life, circulating in pockets, wallets, and cash registers across the United States. Millions of these pennies were minted and used daily, yet only a small number have survived in exceptional condition. That survival and rarity is exactly what makes this coin so desirable for collectors today. The obverse of the coin features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had been in use since 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. At the time of its introduction, this was revolutionary, as it marked the first regularly circulated U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of an allegorical figure. On the 1954 coin, "In God We Trust" arches gracefully above Lincoln's profile, while liberty rests at his left and the year 1954 is engraved to his right. Just beneath the date, a small mint mark may be visible. This tiny letter is critical, as it indicates where the coin was minted and can greatly influence its rarity and value. Coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, D-marked pennies came from Denver, and S-marked pennies were produced in San Francisco. Collectors pay close attention to these mint marks, as they often determine whether a coin is relatively common or exceptionally rare. The reverse of the 1954 penny is just as captivating, featuring the iconic wheat ears that have become a hallmark of Lincoln cents. These two sheaves of wheat arch along the sides of the coin, symbolizing prosperity, abundance, and America's agricultural heritage. Between them, 1 cent and United States of America are prominently displayed, while E Pluribus Unum rests above, serving as a reminder of the nation's unity. The wheat reverse design, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is widely celebrated for its elegance and historical significance, making it a favorite among collectors and coin enthusiasts. What really sets the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny apart is its rarity and high-grade condition. While millions were produced, most circulated extensively and show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration. Coins that remain in uncirculated or near pristine condition are extremely scarce. A 1954 penny that preserves sharp details in Lincoln's hair, crisp lettering, and clearly defined wheat ears is highly prized. Condition, along with the mint mark, is the key factor that can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collectible. Adding even more excitement to this coin story are the minting errors and unusual variations that occasionally occurred. Some coins from 1954 may feature slight misalignments, doubled lettering, or other anomalies caused during the minting process. While these might appear as imperfections to the untrained, collectors prize them for their uniqueness. Coins with rare errors or subtle variations can become one-of-a-kind treasures that stand out in any collection, often commanding higher prices than standard examples. Grading also plays a crucial role in the 1954 penny's value. Experts assess each coin based on the quality of the strike, surface preservation, and color. Coins that retain their original reddish copper tone, known as red designation, are especially valuable because most pennies naturally darken over time. The sharper the details, the more vibrant the color, and the fewer the imperfections, the higher the grade and the greater the value. Collectors and investors alike seek out these high-grade coins, knowing that they represent both a tangible connection to history and a sound collectible investment. Beyond its monetary value, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a piece of living history. Each coin tells the story of everyday Americans in the mid-20th century, from children saving coins in jars to families using pennies in daily transactions. These coins serve as a bridge to the past, providing a glimpse into the lives of those who handled them over 70 years ago. Some have been carefully preserved in collections, while others have been rediscovered in old drawers, jars, or forgotten coin rolls, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. For collectors today, every detail matters. Mint mark, strike quality, color, and preservation are all closely examined, because even the smallest difference can significantly affect the coin's value. Coins in exceptional condition, with rare mint marks or unique features, consistently attract attention from serious collectors and often sell for astonishing sums at auctions or private sales. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny, preserved in outstanding condition with a desirable mint mark or unique characteristics, could be worth an incredible $73,000.